you ever felt so sure about something only to start doubting yourself at the last moment? Imagine being on the verge of success, heart pounding, and suddenly a small voice in your head whispers, "What if I am not good enough?" This is the paralyzing power of self-doubt, and it multiplies into what we can call an imposter syndrome, a silent but decisive force that holds us back from reaching our true potential. And today we are going to learn how to conquer it and unlock your true potential. See, back in 2007 in Kolkata, I decided to start my own company. The excitement was electrifying. I had big plans and boundless energy. But as the days turned into weeks, challenges began to surface. Funds were low and the traction I expected was not materializing. My initial enthusiasm faded into anxiety and doubts creep in. Am I even good enough for this? I felt lost and overwhelmed. What I did not know then was that feeling unsure is normal when you are growing and learning. Even famous artists like Van Gogh experienced self-doubt. He once said, "If you hear a voice saying you can't paint, then go ahead and paint anyway and the voice will stop." And self-doubt is not just something people feel when they are trying something new. It can stick around even when you are successful. And this brings us to something called imposter syndrome. It's that feeling that you are not as good as others think you are. And sooner or later, everyone will figure out you are not really as talented as they believe. Many of us have this feeling, but we rarely talk about it. This inner imposture paralyzes us, causing us to avoid taking action, which leads to a downward spiral and becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Think of a time when you wanted to seize an opportunity but hesitated because you felt unworthy. Maybe you thought, "What if I mess up? What if people realize that I am a fraud?" That voice is your inner imposture, a relentless critique that undermines your achievements. I recall my early career at Genpact, where I developed an Excel macro to automate financial reconciliations, a significant innovation at that time. I was a top contender for the Lean Award. And yet, as the presentation day approached, doubts overwhelmed me. What if they don't like my idea? What if I can't answer their questions? Paralyzed by fear, I took a sick leave on the presentation date and missed the opportunity entirely. The regret of not stepping up still lingers. But here is the thing, imposter syndrome is not exclusive to insecure or inexperienced. Even the most accomplished individuals, from CEOs to celebrities, experience it. Tom Hanks once confessed, "No matter what I have done, there comes a point where I think, how did I even get here? When are they going to discover that I am in fact a fraud and take everything away from me?" Self-doubt and imposter syndrome build an invisible wall between where you are and where you want to be. They keep you from voicing ideas, taking risks, and showcasing your talents. It's like navigating life with one foot on the brake, never fully accelerating towards your goal. But the good news is, recognizing and understanding your inner imposture is the first step towards transforming it from a foe into an ally. Let me show you some strategies to befriend your inner imposture and overcome self-doubt. First is changing your mindset. Turn it into "I can't do" to "I can learn." Self-doubt often begins with negative self-talk. "I am not good enough" or "I'll never get it right." But what if we could reframe these thoughts? Instead of "I'll fail," consider, "This is a chance to learn and grow." Take Thomas Edison for example. His journey to invent the light bulb was filled with thousands of failed attempts. When asked about these failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that don't work." Edison viewed each setback not as a failure but as a learning opportunity, a necessary step towards success. Similarly, tech giants like Google embrace this mindset. When launching new products, they refer to them as experiments, acknowledging the imperfections are part of the process. This approach fosters innovation, encourages risk taking, and learning without the crippling fear of failure. By shifting our perspective, we confront the challenges with curiosity rather than fear, transforming our inner critic into a motivator. The second is starting small. When self doubt feels overwhelming, focusing on small achievable goals can make a significant difference. Instead of fixating on the enormity of the task ahead, break it down into manageable steps. Consider these real life examples. Airbnb, the founder started by renting out an air mattress in their living room. This small step validated their idea and laid the foundation of a global hospitality platform. At Amazon, Jeff Bezos began by selling books online, mastering the logistics before expanding into the e-commerce giant we know today. Even WhatsApp launched with a simple messaging feature focusing on reliability and ease of use before adding more functionalities. Think about this example and hundreds of others modern age giants who succeed because they started small, mostly in their dorm room or their garage. And now think about other lakhs and millions of ideas that were in our head, maybe thousands of them as good as these ideas are or even better. But they never got a chance because we were thinking too big, too high of them to act upon, and we never acted. Third is understanding mistakes are part of growth. See, perfectionism often fuels self-doubt. We set unrealistically high standards and berate ourselves when we fall short. But what if we embraced our imperfections? I used to be terrified of making mistakes in public. In fact, I had so much fear. Many a times in my dreams, I saw myself speaking on the stage and audience booing and throwing rotten tomatoes on me. And during one presentation, I made a big error. But somehow at that moment, instead of panicking, I tried to laugh it off and waited for a second to see if I am going to get tomatoes. The audience, on the other hand, also laughed it off and it lightened our mood. I realized that accepting imperfection makes self-doubt less intimidating. And when you watch this video, you are seeing the final output. But behind the scene, it's a journey of correcting 100 mistakes. We write multiple drafts, record several takes, and made countless edits to refine the message. And every step involves trial and error. Each correction brings us closer to the polished result you see today. Growth happens by embracing each mistake and using it as a stepping stone to create something better. And finally, acknowledge your inner imposture and make him your friend. Amanda Imber, in her book How to Make Friends with Your Inner Imposture, suggests that our inner critique is not our enemy but a surprising ally. She writes, stop fighting your imposture. Instead, recognize it just like that looming shadow at the edge of your vision. The more you try to ignore it, the more distracting it becomes. See it as a companion on the journey, a motivator that drives you to do better, to keep learning and stay humble in your achievements. She tells the story of Ryan, an Olympic swimmer who constantly felt that he did not belong among the world's elitist athletes. His doubts crumbled him, making him feel small, until his coach suggested something radical. Instead of pushing the thoughts away, Ryan should listen to them and let them fuel his desire to improve. And this strategy worked. The inner imposture did not go away, but it changed its tone. Instead of paralyzing Ryan with doubt, it spurred him to work harder, practice longer, and focus more. It was his shift in the mindset that ultimately led to his gold medal win. Recognize that self-doubt is a sign you are pushing your boundaries and stepping out of your comfort zone. In fact, Imber emphasizes that imposter syndrome is not something to eliminate but to befriend. In her research and interviews with top performers, she found that the most successful people are not those who never feel like imposters. They are the ones who feel that way and move forward anyway. Let me give you some actionable steps to befriend your inner imposture. First is acknowledge it. Recognize when self-doubt arises. Understand that it's a common experience even among the most successful individuals. Second, reframe it. Instead of viewing it as a barrier, see it as a sign that you are growing. Third is ask questions. Don't shy away from seeking clarity. Even if you fear sounding uninformed, remember the goal is not to appear smart but to become smarter. And the final is embrace failure. View setbacks as learning opportunities. Each failure is a step closer to success. See, you are more capable than you think. And self doubts and imposter syndrome are normal parts of human experience, especially when we are pushing our limits. But they don't have to hold you back. By changing your mindset, starting small, embracing mistakes, and befriending your inner imposter, you can turn this feeling into catalysts for growth. So think about where self doubt has held you back. What is it that you want to try but feel scared to do? Start now, set a goal and take the first step. Remember, suffering builds resilience and resilience builds character. You are stronger than your self-doubt when you use it to help you grow. You will discover a strength and confidence you did not know you had. Embrace your inner imposture, let it challenge you, guide you, and push you to become the best version of yourself. The next time that little voice whispers, "You are not good enough," smile and say, "Watch me." Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.